Richard Justice was on that trip as well. And Richard, once we put the picture back up, Richard's all the way at the corner here, left-hand spot. There it is. But Richard, what was that like, man? Because Aaron said it was unbelievable.
Yeah, my two overriding impressions were, one, the discipline, the focus, the youth of the troops that we met with. I mean, it's life changing. You know about it, you hear about it, but to see them up close is one thing. The other thing is how proud Aaron Barrett and Adam Eaton did Major League Baseball. I mean, it was unbelievable. They dived in at the chow halls. They signed every autograph. They posed for every selfie. We were in Romania after the first show that they put on. Some kid comes up, young serviceman comes up to Adam and says, "Man, what a great season! I'm such a Nationals fan." He takes his jersey off and signs it and gives it to the kid. And they told him, "Adam, we don't have that many shirts." And he said, "I don't care. The kid says he's a Nationals fan. He wants my shirt. I'm going to give it to him." Two other heroes of this is a guy named Scott Fear, former FBI agent who's the Nationals director of security. That guy was in charge of the World Series trophy. He had it in a rolling case on the C-17 that we traveled on, and he had it out on the plane for everybody to have their pictures made with. And I'm telling you, there are a few hundred servicemen right now that got to touch the trophy, feel the trophy. Adam and Aaron came out of a Black Hawk helicopter, and I think the pilots were showing off. I think they tried to make them throw up. But the first thing Adam did, the first thing Adam did was jump off the copter and go to Scott and say, "Give me the trophy." He wanted to take the trophy to the pilots on the Black Hawk helicopter. The other guy, a Nationals executive named Kevin McCarthy, Greg McCarthy, he took, and they can be seen in pink boxes on the back of the C-17. 1,500 Georgetown cupcakes. Now I got to say, by the time we got to Romania, there weren't 1,500 cupcakes there, but it was one of those little touches. And what the soldiers said is, for these guys to fly 10 hours in a plane to show us that they cared about us, that they're thinking of us, it breaks up our day, and it brings a touch of home back to us, and reminds us that, hey, people back in the United States do care what we do.
Richard, this is the first time I've done a piece on Hot Stove where I'm completely jealous of your participation in this. How did it come to you to travel with Aaron and Adam?
Yeah, I think the Nationals wanted us on the trip. The two stops in the Middle East were dropped. I think the original tag was the World Series trophy had never been to a combat zone, but security concerns around the world changed that. And so, I was honored to be part of it. And as Adam said afterwards, he said, "I'll tell you this won't be the last USO tour I go on." And the USO doesn't get a lot of attention for what it does. And it just tries to tell the troops thank you, and to give them a little touch of home. And that's what it did. And I guarantee if you ask, there was a country rock group, Low Cash there, yep. Some comedians, including Matt Walsh, who was one of the stars of Veep. They would tell you they were all touched too.
All right, great stuff here. All right, what have you done for me lately? We get back on the diamond. So the Nationals just won the World Series, and now we're diving into 2020. Can they repeat without Anthony Rendon?
Yeah, they can. And I think Mike Rizzo would tell you that he's pretty satisfied with his offseason, even though he didn't re-sign his best player, Anthony Rendon. What did Mike Rizzo bring to the Nationals? His DNA in building the organization is power pitching. So he re-signed Steven Strasburg. If that rotation is not the best in baseball, it's in the top three. He made the bullpen better by re-signing Daniel Hudson, by signing Will Harris. And then he just added guys all over the diamond. Eric Thames at first. Starlin Castro can play second or short or third. Asdrubal Cabrera. A guy that's going to be important is Carter Kieboom, their top prospect. Can he play third? Can he play second? Is he big league ready? All those things. Nothing's guaranteed, but they go to spring training in a pretty good place.
Richard, no one knows more about Houston Astros baseball than you. $5 million difference between arbitration numbers between the club and George Springer. You would think at some point they have to work on a long-term contract. He's too important to that ball club.
I think he's their most important player in these last 5 years and what they've done. He when the fans here talk about the joy they play with, the energy and all that. Hey, that starts with George Springer, and that's taking nothing away from Alex Bregman or Jose Altuve or Justin Verlander. But Springer is the guy, Ronnie, who makes the most noise in the dugout. When he was on the disabled list, AJ Hinch asked him, "Come in the dugout, put your uniform on, get on me, get on your teammates." And he's the disc jockey in the post game celebrations. He is so important to what they've done. What it would take to sign him? He's 30 years old. He wants what Paul Goldschmidt got, or thereabouts, 5 years, 130 million. You're right. They haven't made any progress so far. They're a long way away in arbitration. But these next few days, this is the important time to get a deal done.
Yeah, and he's revolutionizing the leadoff position as well. I mean, a few years back, you wouldn't think about a guy like George Springer up there, but
It's postseason play.
yeah,
Come on.
no doubt, no doubt. All right, we've talked about it throughout the show with Ken, Richard. The likelihood that the Rockies trade Nolan Arenado is?
Probably it's up to the Cardinals, and I would say probably not that great. They may have the prospects to do it, but Jeff Bridich in Denver is doing what every good GM does. He's gauging the value of his players, and what is he looking for? Well, the two most valuable things an organization tries to get now: payroll flexibility and a great farm system. And if he could use Arenado the way the Diamondbacks use Green to cut some payroll, to add some prospects, he might do it. But he's made it clear that a year after signing the guy to a $234 million contract, he's going to have to be bowled over. There is one problem, there's an opt-out after the 2021 season. But if they can agree with the players, and the Cardinals are the team to keep an eye on now, if they can agree to the players, I'm sure Nolan and the contract option, the opt-out would be part of that. Right now, I think inside the industry, they just feel like that Jeff is looking for the value and has not come close to getting it.
Last thing, Richard, your own personal consumption. My over and under for you, 2 cupcakes.
Yeah. Maybe you should have taken the over on that.
No doubt. All right. Good stuff from Richard Justice. Richard, haven't seen you, so Happy New Year. Thanks for joining us.